and I'm looking in the sky in tears. And way, way up there, must have been 20 stories high or 30 stories high. There are tall buildings on each corner there. There's something there. My eye gets fixated on it, and I'm looking at it. And it's coming to me, it's coming closer. It's coming down, whatever it is. So, I volunteered at the soup kitchen for years upon years. And one day a reporter wanted to interview me about my blog, and I said, well, it's Tuesday night. If you want to talk to me tonight, you have to meet me here. And he met me there, and his story was supposed to be about my blog and about that, and it ended up being something completely different. And I'm so glad that it did. And that story's still out there. Maybe I'll link to it at the bottom of this video. It's in Greek. Anyway, and then there's another one I'll link you to. Anyway, at the soup kitchen, I wanted to do more. And I found myself one day in a bakery. While I was there, I thought, what do you do with your bread at the end of the day? And she said, well, we give it to charities. I said, oh, do you give it away every day? Are all your days taken? And she said, no. And from then forward, I started collecting bags, giant brown bags of her leftover bread and cupcakes and cookies and stuff every week. And I would carry these 3 big brown bags from Astoria on the subway through rain and snow, winter, summer, back to my apartment, where I would keep them till the next day. And then I took them to, at the same place where there was the soup kitchen for the homeless, there was an elderly luncheon for elderly poor people, and they would give $1 and get a lunch. So I would take one big bag of bread there and set it on a table at the door, and then I would simultaneously walk down the street to the soup kitchen that was happening at another church, and leave my other bag with the volunteers there for their soup kitchen, a different soup kitchen than the one that I served at. And I would take some bread to my soup kitchen also, and then I still had bread left over, and I would individually pack that bread in small bags, and if I had money, I would buy some water and put bottles of water in it. Often I didn't have any money, so there was just bread in there, or sandwiches, or whatever. And I might buy fruit and put some fruit in there also. Anyway, for years I struggled with this, so I finally got a granny card and made it easier, and then finally found a bakery closer to where I lived, which made a lot more sense. And I stopped getting bread from Regina and started getting it from the nice German one. I think it's the oldest bakery in the city. I want to give them credit because they gave me bread for many years. And Regina's bakery is Artopolis in Astoria at the Ditmar stop. God bless you for doing that. So I would individually pack little bags of bread, like maybe 8 bags, and I would take my little dog Marley, God bless his little soul, and we go for a walk around the neighborhood late at night. And I would just keep walking until I found enough people to give the bread to, and water and fruit. Sometimes that would take a couple hours, surprisingly. Sometimes it would be over in 15 minutes. And I do this in winter, whenever. And you know, I started to wonder if it mattered because there was a soup kitchen every night in our neighborhood in Manhattan. There was Upper East Side, Yorkville. There was a soup kitchen every night. Did they really need my bread? And then one day, this guy says to me, "Are you the guy who left the bread by my head the other night when I was sleeping?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Thank you so much, because I just lost my house, and I didn't know what I was going to do." Not everybody has been homeless for years, you know. Some people just became homeless, and they don't know about the soup kitchens. I thought to myself, you know. And here I realized that I was helping. I was doing something. And I started putting the schedule of the soup kitchens in the bag after I met that guy. So I did this for years, until finally, and people knew me as the Breadman. A lot of people called me the Breadman. There he is, the Breadman. The Breadman, thank you. Breadman. I really like that. That's my favorite nickname of my life. And then one day the devil wanted to spoil my joy. This one day, I was taking the bread for distribution, and I was leaving the first bag at the elderly luncheon, and the man at the desk says to me, "We don't need your bread. We have bread. We don't need your bread. Take it." And I said, "But I've been bringing it for years. We don't need it. We have bread." And he was right. In the luncheon, they had bread to serve the elderly people. They already had bread on the table for the luncheon. It didn't strike me. The fact didn't strike me at that point that my bread, which was being left at the door, they were taking home with them. They were taken with them when they left, and my bag would be empty in 10 minutes. But it didn't hit me right away. So his words hurt me, and I thought, am I wasting my time? Bread on the table, and I leave there and I go to the soup kitchen at Epiphany Church down the street. This one was Yano's Church on 74th Street. Now I went down to Epiphany Church at 74th and York. This was 74th and 1st. And at Epiphany Church, they love my dog there. I was leaving the bag of bread with volunteers. At this time, it was the exact day of their soup kitchen, and it was getting late, so the volunteers were setting up for the soup kitchen. Oftentimes, I would go and the church was empty and nobody was there, and I would leave my bag in a certain place for them. At this time, I actually saw the volunteers, and I heard one volunteer say to another volunteer, "We don't need this bread. We don't need his bread. We have bread." Can you imagine that on the same day, the two places that I've been leaving bread for years. We're talking about years, maybe 8 years, like a lot of years, every week. On the same day, my bread is rejected, my service is rejected, and I'm told that I've been basically uselessly wasting my time, not doing any good. This is what I'm thinking when I heard this. This is how the devil spoiled my joy. And I left there sad, so sad. By the time I got to 79th Street, I was in tears, like I am now, recalling the story. By the time I got to 79th Street from 74th Street, I was at the corner of 79th and 1st, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in tears the way I am now because it hurt. We're talking about Manhattan, busy, people, cars, busy. I actually talked to God. And I look up into the sky, and I was like this. What do you want from me? Am I even doing anything? Am I even helping? My hands were open, my palms were faced to the sky, and I was looking for God, and I was speaking to Him. And I'm looking in the sky in tears. And way up there, must have been 20 stories high or 30 stories high. There are tall buildings on each corner there. There's something there. My eye gets fixated on it, and I'm looking at it. And it's coming to me, it's coming closer. It's coming down, whatever it is. My eyes are fixated on this thing. Like, I'm talking about at a great distance. See this stone behind me? That far away, my eyes caught this. That stone so high there. See that? That far away, but even higher than that. My eyes caught this thing coming down, and it kept coming down, and it came down, and it came down closer and closer. And it landed on my chest. Sat on my chest, and it was a butterfly. It was a butterfly. I said to the Lord, am I doing anything? Am I accomplishing anything? Am I helping you? And a butterfly flew down from the heavens and landed on my chest. You tell me that wasn't an answer. That wasn't a comfort. It sure was a comfort, I'll tell you. It was comforting. It sure was a comfort. And not only did it land there, it stayed there. I walked from 79th Street to 81st Street to my apartment, where it finally left me. At this point, instead of complete despair and sadness, I was filled with warmth and joy. Do you understand? That for me, this was no coincidence, and for you, it should be no coincidence.